Hello, I'm old Mr. Kent, and I'm 82 years old, and I'm out for my morning E-Trike ride. This is Wednesday, the 18th day of September 2024, and I'm going to let this truck go. The the traffic on this road, as you can plainly see, is undesired by this neighborhood. And I've already talked about how many cars that take this route rather than waiting in line. Here comes some more. Rather than waiting in line at the stoplight, which we're going to go take a look at in this video. It's going to be a little different video than I usually make. I'm sorry about my throat, but anyway, excuse me. Because I'm going to show you some interesting things that happened in our neighborhood here. And you'll understand why there's all this traffic going through our neighborhood by the time we're through. So we're coming down to a corner here, and we get around this corner, and I'll show you where there was a motorcycle cop sitting. Let's see if we don't want to get hit by a car here. They come around here pretty fast. Anyway, now there's not much traffic. But anyway, you could see how much there was there for a second, or for a minute or two, anyway. So just a little bit further up this road, I was coming last Friday, okay? And coming along, and there was all this traffic, just like always. And he was sitting there, and he had one of those guns that tell him how fast people are going. And I stopped and visited with him. And he said he had already stopped somebody for going 39 miles an hour. Well, it's plainly posted down here where they're coming from. It's a 25-mile-an-hour neighborhood road. And so these people, the reason they're taking this route is because they're hurrying to get around the big line of cars that's further down the road here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to follow this route, which is what I always take, and then we see all these cars coming this way, and we're going to go look at where they end up after they go all the way around through our neighborhood. And so that's the plan. And while we're riding along, I'll tell you a couple of stories. This one I've already told, but it'll help understand the next story, okay? When I was in high school, my parents wanted me to go to college, and they said they'd pay my way. Somebody following that Sunday or that school bus. The shop that I had years ago was in an old Sunday school bus with all the seats taken out. I think I have a picture of that somewhere. Anyway, so I had a girlfriend. Her name was Linda. And one Saturday I was over visiting with her, sitting at the dining room table, and I said, I got to find a college to go to. My parents want me to find a college. And she said, well, I signed up to go to Western Washington University, and they sent me an application, but I'm not going to go if you want to send that in. So I sent that in, and they accepted me, and that's how I chose my college. And so anyway, so I had this girlfriend named Linda. All right. Now, years later, here I am. Yesterday, my wife and I, well, she always goes with me because she knows all the medical terms and stuff. I had to go to the neurologist. More cars. I had to go to the neurologist to just make every 4 months I go over because I have what they call arteritis. That's the inflammation of the arteries to the brain. Now you know why it's all like it is. So anyway, we went into the waiting room, and waiting rooms are always boring because everybody's just sitting there. Well, nowadays they're all looking at their cell phones. But it used to be they just kind of looked around at the pictures on the wall. And the waiting room was pretty full of people. And everybody was just sitting there. And there was an empty seat to my right. And my wife was sitting on my left. And now we're getting down to the ruts, which I already made a video about. So we're going to bounce through here somehow, one way or other. There we go. All right. Now I got one more rut, and then we can get back to business here. Okay. I love this trike. I kind of mistreat it, but it's working. Okay, so there was this empty seat, and this older lady, she came in, she had a walker, and she went up to the front and checked in, turned around, and she pointed to the seat next to me, and she says, is that taken? I said, oh no, sit down. And she said, okay. I said, be a pleasure. I actually told her it'd be a pleasure to have her sit down. And so she sits down, and I said, my name's Ken. And she said, my name's Linda. Okay, now the whole, it's been quiet up to this point. Nobody said a word. So I said, oh, I had a girlfriend in high school named Linda. Do I look familiar to you? And then, of course, it wasn't so quiet as it had been. People were chuckling and laughing and stuff. Anyway, turns out she wasn't my old girlfriend. So anyway, that's kind of how I've always kind of been like that. I like to talk to people I'm sitting next to in the doctor's office. Well, here we are with the backup of all the traffic that everybody's trying to miss by going through our neighborhood. And there's a stoplight up here, and so if they're just patient, they'll get through. But there are some people. In fact, one guy, I didn't have my camera that day. One guy back there almost ran over me, cutting the corner to make the shortcut, if you want to call it a shortcut. Anyway, so that was an interesting thing that happened. And now we're coming up to oh, there's a guy. He's going to work on the bushes. Good morning. And we're going to cut in here, I hope. We're going to take a shortcut through here because I can't go through that intersection because of the construction. So there's just no place to ride my trike. So I always just wait here until somebody comes through the gate, and then we'll go on through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just fast forward, starting now, and then when we get up to where we want to be, I'll slow it down and we'll start talking again. All right? So I'll be right with you. Okay, here we go. I had quite a bit of a wait there at the before somebody came out of the community there. So we're Yeah, see, there comes over there comes a bunch of people that came down our street. So now I'm going to go with this guy. We're going to go ahead and go across. Good morning. And then we'll start headed down this way. And this is the way they come. I'll have a map up so you can see how they come. They didn't come the way I came, but they all came through in front of our house. Well, not actually in front, but the road that goes past the road that goes to our house. So all these people are trying to save time by taking the long route. If you remember the cars that we saw at the very beginning, those cars came all the way down that road, turned and came down this road. Okay? And now we're getting down to close to the intersection, and we got all these cars piling up in a line up there. And we're going to try to get around here. All right. Now, Friday, when I came down here, they were lined up way, way back there. The day that I visited with the cop. But I think since he was there, a lot of people have stopped coming this way. And of course, it depends on the time of day, because traffic is heavier, like 7 o'clock in the morning and so forth, or 6:30. They're real heavy 6:30 in the morning. But I can't video much 6:30 in the morning. It's getting dark around here. In fact, it's even cooler right now than it's been for a long time at this time, which is 7:35. All right, so we're getting down here to the end of this line that everybody wanted to avoid. And we'll go over here, and I think we'll just pull in right here. Yeah, that'd be good. Right here. And you can see the cars that have been all lined up where you're supposed to do, they're coming along just fine. And they get about a 2-minute, well, actually, the whole thing ends up being more than 2 minutes, but now the cars going the other way, they get to come through, and they've been waiting for quite a while. And that's not the heavy long line. The heavy long line it comes from, well, let's see, these guys are all headed south. And the cars that are headed north, they're the ones that come from the housing developments that they're putting in all over Arizona here. By the way, this is in Arizona, if you haven't figured out, about 40 miles south of Phoenix. And we're going to time the light. I think it's about, well, it was about 30 seconds last time I timed it. And so there we go. Now then, it's okay. We'll see how many cars get through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, there's the light, okay, and that guy went through a red light, but anyway, all right, so what we had 11 cars go by, so they got ahead, what you'd say, about 11 cars, and that was 30 seconds right there of how they could go. So as we look down here, let's look down there. There's the line right there that everybody's not liking. And that's going to be that way for quite a while. So anyway, we'll go ahead and get started back up this walkway, because this is not my normal ride, but I wanted to show you what's going on and how come there's so many cars. Most of these cars that you're looking at here came down the road that goes by where we live, because there's not that many people who live up in that little neighborhood. All right, I think probably that's about long enough. So, a little different video than I usually make, but then you can see how the traffic is going and frustrating all my neighbors. And then you also got a little story on the side of that about visiting the doctor. All right, so I want to thank you. Oh, there was somebody that knew me. I want to thank you for watching my video, and God bless.